shore keep a whispering lore of the captains who never came home. And the gulls overhead cry of treasure and dread, where the reefs hide a kingdom of bone. But the breeze tastes of spice and the gamble feels right when your heart's set on freedom's bite. Raise a toast, stake your claim, let the world know your name on another Caribbean night. Sail from a cove where the warm trade winds blow and the silver blue dolphins glide, where the rum's always strong and the nights run long and the tide is a thief at your side. When the moon's riding high and the lanterns are low and the waves start to shimmer bright, come aboard, cast away, let the sea have its say on another Caribbean nights. Caribbean nights, like Caribbean days, more often than not, they're wilder than not, in the boldest of ways. Caribbean nights, neath Caribbean stars. Oh, rogue with a grin, could win or give in, out there past the bars. Shore keep a whispering lore of the captains who never came home. And the gulls overhead cry of treasure and dread, where the reefs hide a kingdom of bone. But the breeze tastes of spice and the gamble feels right when your heart's set on freedom's bite. Raise a toast, stake your claim, let the world know your name on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights. Caribbean nights.
When I started this project, I didn't realize how much of an undertaking it would really be. It's been a learning process, to say the least, but we're almost ready for launch. My team and I wanted to make sure that all of our ducks were in a row before we really got started. All of that said, the Discord is officially live, and I will begin sending out invites via the GoFundMe page messaging system. If you're one of the amazing people who donated to the pre-launch GoFundMe campaign, which is still up, by the way, you'll get a private message from me over the course of the next few days. The GoFundMe is still accepting contributions. Meanwhile, our art director Thatch and I are finalizing the layout of the Kickstarter page, reward tiers, and stretch goals so we can finish what's needed to launch the official Kickstarter. And remember, if you donate to the GoFundMe page, you get your name on a special thank you page in the book, as well as access to the Discord to help us build it. Thank you all very much for your donations, encouragement, and kind words. We're gonna make something awesome.
And join us in May. What is that? Memorial Day weekend, May 22nd through the 21st, or 24th, 2026, at the Norseforged Gathering 6 in New London, North Carolina. Get your tickets now. They are going fast. No, they're not. We probably aren't going to sell out of tickets, but we're hoping. Oh, what does the Norseforged Gathering 6 do? We step into a realm of unforgettable adventurers and have fun with friends and quests for all. There will be kiddies quests, quests for the kiddos. There will be wild animals. There will be mead for those who like to drink. There will be plenty of food. There will be plenty of stuff to do. Come out, have fun. We will talk about that in a minute, Crimson. But yes, come out, join the fun. With that being said, no, I wanted this one. There we are. We're back. Look, I had to do a techie glitch. It was the first techie glitch of the new year. It's a very new show. We have new year, new theme song. And you know what? We're back. And this is Rogue Bard Advice, a D&D TTRPG podcast, nerdcast, where we talk about everything nerd related. Whether it's sports, whether it's nerd entertainment, whether it's you guys just wanting to learn about archaeology. I'm okay with it. Let's go. With that being said, it is a new year, and I want to welcome everybody who is here for the new year. Welcome Jim and the Pirate Wife, and Yokai Lover, and Crimson Honda, and Ron, and Ruby, and everybody. Yes, Crimson. I wrote a new song. It is courtesy of Sono, obviously, but it is inspired by Arabian Nights by Aladdin, or from the Aladdin movie. So I figured it was a time for change. I still have the honor and sword and adventure mix on the back end of the program, because I think that fits well over me talking about what's coming up next for the next week and stuff like that. So I don't think me talking over Caribbean Nights would go over very well. Hello, Ruby. Welcome in. We are just getting started. But yeah, I hope that you guys like the new theme song. I did work on it quite a bit. I also have news on my side of the house. Before we get into questions, we get news. I am on chapter 9. I will be starting to write chapter 9 of my novel that I have been starting. I have 8 chapters already, and it's almost 40,000 words. Maybe just a little over 40,000 words for 8 chapters. I'm looking at approximately 30 chapters and approximately 150 to 200,000 words. My goal is Interview with a Vampire length, but if I even get 2/3 of that, that'd be great. I am a busy guy. I have this podcast I'm doing. I've got my normal work that I do, and I got the book that I'm writing. And when I get burnt out on writing the book, I do songs on Sono. Thank you to the Bard Father for introducing all of us to Sono. Speaking of the Bard Father, he either has moved or is in the process of still moving. So and he needs help. So if you have it in you and able and are willing to help and want to donate, you know where his socials are. They are linked to this description. Well, not linked, but they are in the description of this video, as they always are, because we support the Bard Father. And there's new updates on the Florida Man RPG. I know it says he will be sending invites out soon to everybody who donated. The invites have been sent. The Discord is live. I don't have the ability to send the invites because it's not my Discord. But if you did donate, check your email. Check all of your emails. And if you got a link, the link's probably expired. That's what happened to me. I was given a link way back in November, and I didn't check it until 2 weeks after I got the invite, and it's already expired. So Chaz had to send me a new invite, which is fine. But yeah, so I do want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And I hope that everybody had a good Happy New Year. And welcome in Teeny. Teeny missed the new theme song. But I'm pretty sure I could play it again here shortly. Maybe. But yeah, no, I hope everybody had a good holidays. We have been gone for a while. Today was supposed to be our Douglas Adams Day because it is our 42nd episode. We have made 42. But, see, it was supposed to be Douglas Adams Day. I have my towel. Do you have your towel? Because you can never go anywhere without a towel. A towel is the most useful object you can ever have. And that is straight from the Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy. With that being said, do we want to do a little switcheroo thingy and do good things for the week before we get into questions, or do we just want to get into questions? Watching while making more fudge and prepping barbecue to cook overnight. You cook a lot. And I do too, when I can. So, switch it up. Okay, let's switch it up. Let's do some good things for the week. Let's do some good things for the week. Let's talk to the chat first. Let's do some good things for the week. We will do chat at the end, but still, we're doing some good things for the week. Crimson, let's see what your good thing of the week is. Crimson Honda's good thing of the week is tomorrow is his 43rd birthday. Well, that is congratulations. That would have been nice if I did not skip a week. And then we could have your 43rd birthday on the 43rd episode of the show. I am sorry for that. Teeny's good thing of the week. It's over, except the good thing of your week, Teeny, is you have the weekend to yourself because your littles are skiing. I get to see TSO again, yearly tradition. Yay! You got to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Woohoo! They are on my bucket list of bands I want to see. We only have 2 questions tonight, guys. But we have a lot to go through for our Deadly Dungeon this year. And I did say this year because we had 64 entries into the Deadly Dungeon for action heroes. And I didn't limit it to just male action heroes. There's some female action heroes on this list. Oh, if I can, I would go. You've seen the Deadly Dungeon list. It's awesome. Yes, but did you see some of the matchups? I'm almost wanting to say if the matchup between the action stars is played by the same actor, the actor moves forward. Because how can you choose? Oh. But we will talk about that towards the end of the show. We'll get there. We'll get there. No rushing the show tonight. We're 16 minutes in. We've got 2 questions. Good thing of the week for me is that you're finally over your deadly sickness. Well, technically, you're over the flu, but you'll never be over the multiple sclerosis, unfortunately. But also, your good thing of the week, you have your granddaughter for 2 weeks. Sorry you're late. Repeat everything. There will be no repeating. You're not late. You're a wizard, and you have arrived just when you need to, and you missed the new theme song. You know what? For those who have missed the theme song, we're going to go here. And let's see if I can't add it real quick so I can show the new theme song. Media file. Yeah. Here you go. This is the new theme song. I hope you guys like it.
Oh, I sail from a cove where the warm trade winds blow and the silver blue dolphins glide, where the rum's always strong and the nights run long and the tide is a thief at your side. When the moon's riding high and the lanterns are low and the waves start to shimmer bright, come aboard, cast away, let the sea have its say on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights, like Caribbean days, more often than not, they're wilder than not, in the boldest of ways. Caribbean nights, neath Caribbean stars. Oh, rogue with a grin, could win or give in, out there past the bars. Oh, the drums on the shore keep a whispering lore of the captains who never came home, and the gulls overhead cry of treasure and dread where the reefs hide a kingdom of bone. But the breeze tastes the spice and the gamble feels right when your heart's set on freedom's bite. Raise a toast, stake your claim, let the world know your name on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights. Caribbean nights.
And there you go. That is the new theme song for the show going forward. It is the opening theme song. We still have, like I said before, we still have the Honor and Sword and Adventure mix at the end, so I can talk over it. but we have our theme song. Yes, Kirk, all themed up. How'd you guys like that? Honestly, rating 1 to 10. Let's get some ratings in the chat. Ron's a zombie. Crimson's a zombie. That's not a rating, but I understand you're 6 zombies. Are you 28 days later or 28 years later zombies? Or are you Raccoon City zombies? Crimson gives it a 9.5. Pirate Wife gave it a 15. That's outside of the ranking scale, but Jim gives it a 10. Look, depending on where in the Caribbean you are, the pronunciation of Caribbean and Caribbean are different. I appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate it. Why don't we get into some questions? Our first question comes from Spezia Poet, but I don't think he's in the chat. If he is, shout out Spezia Poet. Look, it's Suno, Teeny. I don't have any control over how they pronounce the word or the words. I just type it in and typed what I wanted, and that's what I got. But our first question of the evening, and it's really for Spezia. His players recently chose to delve into the deep roads after replacing a dwarf queen with both of her sons after 9.5 years of real-life reign. An ally named Crippus, who is a Warforged child sized with a coat made of bags of holding, and chose a friendship with the Bagman, has led the charge. They are both exploring and trying to find her. One of the Queen's last words were, "This is a dive into the underworld where what boils below burns on the surface. Queen Branca." He wants my thoughts on monster types, layer effect, etc. Well, this is what I wrote for Spezia. The line from Queen Branca is gold. It frames the deep roads not just as a dungeon, but as a pressure cooker for the world above. Given your history, Crippus, the Bagman connection, and the political fallout of 2 kings replacing a queen, I'd lean hard into corruption, recursion, and consequence. Core theme of the deep roads, you have what boils below burns on the surface. The deep roads are not merely ancient tunnels. They are a mythic underworld engine. Everything unresolved, discarded, buried, or forgotten eventually cooks down here and resurfaces as catastrophe. That's what you got to think about. Political sins to your monsters, abandoned gods for warped ecology, forgotten crimes for living geography. The deep roads remember these. Monster types, and these can be layered for depth. The upper deep roads, echoes of dwarven hubris. These feel familiar but wrong. You got forged revenants, dwarves fused into failed constructs, armor grown into bone, souls trapped mid-task, guarding gates that no longer exist, and react aggressively to new rulers or royal insignia. Twist. They kneel before Crippus, then attack anyone else. Then you have oathbound statues. Stone Sentinels, animated by broken royal oaths. Only activate when someone lies, claims authority, or gives orders. Then you have the mid depths, the boil. This is where Bronca's prophecy becomes literal. You have magma wretches, as Ron is alluding to. Fire and stone elementals merge into lava monsters. Yes, humanoids infused with living heat. Bleed molten stone. Die explosively if killed carelessly. You have ash myconoids, fungal creatures grown from cremated battlefields. Communicate in visions of past betrayals and can infect PCs with memory spores, which gives your PCs a disadvantage on insight versus lies for 1 hour. Then you have the lower depths, the underworld proper. This is where Crippus and the Bagman become terrifying. The lost cargo. Creatures made of discarded extra-dimensional space. Half-formed limbs, screaming mouths, folded geometry. They drag things into themselves, then rearrange them. These are the children of bags of holding, abused over centuries. The Bagman's kin, not the Bagmen, but echoes of it. Long-limbed, pointless or jointless shapes that crawl through seams. They can emerge from cracks in walls, packs, bedrolls, the inside of armor. Their reaction to Crippus? Curious, revenant, and territorial. Your layer effects are always on. Use 1 to 2 at a time. Rotate them every long rest. You have psychological layer effects. The tunnels whisper names. Each hour, a random PC hears their name spoken by someone they failed. The royal weight. Anyone claiming authority feels phantom crowns crushing their skull. You got some great ideas. This is why we come. Y'all are very good at it. My own D&D campaign has improved from this channel. Now and with the Bard Father. Well, thank you for that. That is validation that I'm doing a great job, Crimson Honda. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you every week that you show up. The disadvantage for the royal weight is on charisma checks or saves while asserting leadership. So only when the individual who is claiming authority is asserting their leadership do they have disadvantage on charisma saves. The environmental effects. Heat from below. Metal equipment becomes uncomfortably warm. Heavy armor equals constitution save or exhaustion. Shifting geometry. Passes suddenly rearranged when not observed. Mapping is unreliable unless magically anchored. For that aspect, think the Maze Runner. That's all you got to do. Think about the Maze Runner for that. Then you have extra dimensional instability. Any extra dimensional item has a 1 in 6 chance per day of opening briefly, whispering, spitting out something unwanted, or swallowing something small but important. Crippus's coat, it's alive down here. Crippus and the Bagman, narrative leverage. Crippus didn't befriend the Bagman. He was recognized. Possible truths. You could either pick one or roll. Truth number 1. Crippus is a containment vessel, not a being. Truth 2. The Bagman sees Crippus as a safe door. Truth 3. Crippus is being groomed as a warden. Truth 4. Crippus is bait, unknowingly drawing the Bagman out. The Bagman doesn't want the party. It wants what they carry emotionally. Baraka's last words, payoff options. eventually reveal that the deep roads mirror the surface. Now, this is where we're getting into a little bit of what I want to talk about next, but we'll get there. Political instability above creates literal eruptions below. If the roads collapse, wars ignite. If the roads are healed, dynasties stabilize. Branka may have bound herself as a keystone spirit, become part of the deep roads, been taken as a living seal. Finding her might mean killing her, replacing her, letting the underworld breathe. And for the final tone of guidance, this should feel ancient, claustrophobic, judgmental, unfair but consistent. The deep roads don't hate the party. They are simply asking, what will you bury and what will you let burn? Good evening, Kevin. You are not late. You are a wizard. You have arrived just when you mean to. So, that's my ideas for your campaign and how you should move forward with it, Spezia. I hope you have got something out of this. And if you want, message me in the Discord and I will send you what I've got so you can have it all written out so you can see. Now, going back to the deep roads mirroring the surface. Show of applause or thumbs up or thumbs down if you and I'm not gonna spoil anything if you haven't. We don't even have to talk about it if you have. Who saw the finale of Stranger Things? And if you did see this finale of Stranger Things, how did you like it? Just overall opinion, how did you like it? I know how I liked it. I know how somebody else in the chat liked it. If you haven't seen it or haven't seen Stranger Things, what's wrong with you? That's it absolutely what's wrong with you. You're on this channel. That's a D&D based show. What's wrong with you? Have you seen any of Stranger Things, Kevin? Kirk's out of the loop. And Chris Honda is still in the Stone Age with media. Oh. You have 9 years. I say that. It's only 5 seasons. It's only 5 seasons, and it's only like 10 episodes a season. But it took them 9 years to do 5 seasons. You've got the Stranger Things Choose Your Own Adventure book. Oh, Yukai. I didn't get into Stranger Things, and I had to go back and watch it. So when Stranger Things first came out, I was right with you, Yukai. It wasn't something that I thought about even looking at. It wasn't until, was it season 3? Teeny, help me out here. Season 3. Never Ending Story. Kate Bush did get a boost from it. Oh, there's not a lot to watch, Jim. Anyway, I didn't watch it until the TikTok trend of everybody doing the Never Ending Story theme song about it, and I had to go and watch the beginning all the way from the beginning to the end, and it draws you in. The Duffer Brothers do a nice job of telling a story. And they do a nice job of incorporating 5e into an 2e campaign. And I say that because the campaign they're actually running with as kids in the show is a campaign called Into the Abyss. And that's a 5e campaign. But the show takes place from 1983 to 1987, 89, something like that. So, Never Ending Story was 3. Okay, thank you, Teeny. Game of Thrones, I would watch Game of Thrones all the way up to season 8, and then before, like end with season 7. Do not watch season 8. They rushed season 8. Stranger Things, however, did not rush season 5. They always knew where it was going to end. And it ended as you would expect it to have ended. So the kids time traveled. They got 5e early. Yeah, you could say that, but they really didn't. It's just how the Duffer Brothers threw a brand new campaign, but using 2e rules for it. So that's the best part about it, though. That shows that you could take 5e campaigns and adapt them to... Now, here's the thing. It doesn't show you all their gameplay. It doesn't even show you their gameplay. The program isn't even about playing the game. The show isn't about playing Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons is just featured in there. Yeah. Obviously, they have some monster differences. They call something one thing, and D&D has it listed as something totally else. They're totally different. But yeah, it's a anachronistic paradox. Look, I don't know Crimson Honda. I just know what they're playing, but there is rumors, or not necessarily rumors, but aspects of the show that mimic and mirror stories from Montauk, New York, or Montauk, New York. If you're into sci-fi and you're into fantasy and you're into a little bit of horror and you're into Sean Astin getting murdered, find Stranger Things streaming somewhere, wherever you can, and watch it. I wholeheartedly, hands down, recommend it. And then we could talk about it in the Discord. D&D itself renamed some things from Tolkien, so Stranger Things renaming stuff is practically canon. They didn't necessarily rename things, as they took a name of a creature and put a different creature to that name. So, but anyway, we have one more question for the evening, and that was my spiel on Stranger Things. My brief spiel on Stranger Things. We can go into detail on more on Stranger Things if people want later at a later episode, maybe. Everything at this point takes stuff from other places, not a whole lot that hasn't been done. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm like my book, the book I'm writing. Sorry, Kirk, we're getting off topic. Your questions are coming up. But the book I'm writing is a historical fiction pirate novel. It takes a pirate character that is briefly only mentioned in this book, and this book be Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Takes a pirate who's only briefly mentioned here, has an expanded story in the TV series. Oh, that fell. That's fine. Black Sails, and is also mentioned briefly, well, not briefly, but majorly in a book called Portobello Gold, which is the Robert Louis Stevenson estate authorized prequel to Treasure Island. Portobello Gold tells the story of how Flint and Long John Silver got the gold and then buried the gold on the island, on Skeleton Island. Black Sails, the TV show, tells how Flint got the gold. Well, not necessarily how he got the gold, but how he got a treasure and then buried it on a island. And that all takes place 30 years before the events of Treasure Island. Now, my book is a sequel to Treasure Island. Sort of. It is a sequel only in the aspect that the majority of the novel takes place directly after Jim Hawkins comes back from his trip to Skeleton Island and is at the Admiral Benbow Inn. That's the sequel part of it. Everything else that is within the novel is Interview with the Vampire-esque, where it all happens prior to the events of Treasure Island, prior to the events of Portobello Gold. And it goes through Flint's life from a kid all the way up until Portobello Gold. And then it cuts back to, it's going to cut back to the present, and we don't know what has happened to Flint. We just know that his life story is being told. I have one person out there who has read the first 8 chapters, and they are going to reread it again slowly. They loved it. They loved it when they read it. They're going to read through it slowly and make notes and stuff and give me feedback and stuff on my first 8 chapters. So it's looking pretty good, Crimson. Kevin. It is only mentioned in Treasure Island that Flint has died of rum overindulgence. But what if? What if that was just a ruse by one of the greatest rogues in all of history? Just saying. Who knows? Who knows where I... No, it hasn't. It's not the Bard or the Pirate Wife. It is a third party outside friend. I can't tell you anything about my book, Kevin. It will give away too many secrets. Sorry, you'll just have to wait. I'm not even going to comment on that comment. Nope, you're fine, Kevin. You're fine. I know. To your point, to your point, if Flint was still alive, he would be 62, 67, something like that. In my book, I can tell you this. In my book, I have Flint being born in 1687. And the events of Treasure Island took place in like 1754. So figure if Flint was still alive, 60, mid 60s. Not too old for a pirate, but definitely old for a pirate. All right, we got 10 minutes. Let's get to Kirk's questions, because Kirk's questions were very nuanced and short, and yeah. I loved your questions, Kirk. Don't take me leaving your questions to last as meaning they weren't important. They absolutely were. But Kirk asked, with New Year's Eve looming, now Kirk sent this to me last week before New Year's. So, or just past. Do all societies mark the new year always in midwinter? Is it different for societies in the Southern Hemisphere, like the Australian Aborigines? Why am I asking you? I don't know why you're asking me. Do pirates celebrate the new year? Do archaeologists look up from their digs? Do bards get to celebrate while performing all their gigs? Kirk, that was a very good question. That was a very interesting question. So let's answer it in two layers. Anthropology first, and then a little bit of verse of the soul. Do all societies mark the new year? Answer to this question could surprise you. While there may be January 1st celebrations around the world every year, we see this on TV with every time zone having some sort of freaking celebration. No, not universally and not always the same way. What is universal is this. Humans mark cycles. The sun, the moon, the seasons, rains, animals, crops, ancestors. But a single fixed New Year's Day, that's cultural, not human instinct. Some societies mark seasonal transitions. First rains, first frosts, first thaw, first snows, first hurricane. Some societies mark astronomical events. Solstices, equinoxes. Some religions also mark astronomical events. Solstices, equinoxes, same things. Some mark agricultural cycles, planting or harvesting. Some mark ritual renewals rather than calendar dates. In other words, many cultures renew the time, but not all reset it on January 1st. The Chinese New Year is not on January 1st. The Jewish New Year is not on January 1st. The Muslim New Year is not on January 1st. Is it always midwinter? Only in cultures shaped by the Northern Hemisphere, or rather Northern Hemisphere astronomy. The modern Western New Year, January 1st, comes from the Roman calendar reforms, not seasonal logic. Many ancient cultures instead tied renewal to spring for rebirth, flood cycles, solar return points. The Southern Hemisphere is absolutely different. For example, your question about the Australian Aboriginal cultures, they traditionally do not use a single pan-Aboriginal calendar. Many nations tracked animal migrations, flowering plants, wind patterns, and stars risings like the Pleiades. For some, New Year aligns more with ecological readiness than the date, when the land says it's time. So celebrating New Year in high summer, like modern Australians do on January 1st, is a colonial import, not a traditional necessity. Do pirates celebrate the New Year? Historically, pirates were pragmatic, not sentimental. They cared more about paydays, fair winds, successful raids, and survival anniversaries. But a drunken toast when the rum held out, a song when the stars looked right, a shared moment when the sea went quiet. Yeah, they marked time, just not politely. Do archaeologists look up from their digs? Only when the trench collapses, the sun sets, the permit expires, or someone says, "We found something weird." But yes, archaeologists are deeply aware that time layers. New Year hits different when you're holding something last touched 3,000 years ago. Do bards celebrate? Bards celebrate by celebrating for others. They mark the year by which songs will get applause, which stories have changed, which faces are gone, which truths still rhyme. Sometimes they celebrate after the gig, sometimes only in verse. And since you asked in rhyme, do pirates drink when the years roll through? Only if the wind is fair. Do diggers pause to greet the new when the past breathes cold night air? Do bards rejoice while strings still ring? Aye, between the truth and lie. For time is not a bell we swing, but a song we pass nearby. And that, my friend, is the answer to your questions. I hope you got something out of it. I hope that answered your questions sufficiently. And I hope I gave you a little bit of joy in the rhyming verse at the end of that. Groundhog Day is a bigger deal. Yes, it is. Thank you for that, Kevin. It varies. Chinese and Indian New Year's are different dates. Yeah. Eastern North Carolina vinegar-based pork barbecue sauce. You better toss more than pics into Discord. They need a scratch and sniff Discord channel. Because some of that food that you make, some of that food, I almost called you by your government name, Yukai. But anyway, solstice and equinox for sun watchers, lunar cycles too. Yep. Crimson Honda never cared, but now it makes sense. Yeah. Now, Groundhog Day, no matter what Punxsutawney Phil sees, whether he sees his shadow or not, February 2nd is always 6 more weeks until the spring equinox. No matter what. When you realize that, Groundhog Day has no meaning. It's just symbolic for the town where it's being held. It's on the next iOS update. No one's getting your recipe, though. It's a family one, and I am one of 2 people who know it. I don't want your recipe. I just want your food. That's absolutely correct, Ruby. Absolutely correct. Ugh. Now, with that being said, we made it. We made it to Chat Chat. And the first thing I want to talk about in Chat Chat is let's all round of applause. Congratulations to the Bard Fathers, Jacksonville Jaguars. They are like 1 win away. There's only 1 game left of the season, right? But they are 1 win away and 2 losses away. 2 other teams have to lose for them to have the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's a 180-degree turnaround from last year. They were 4-13 last year. They're 13-4 this year. Or going to be 13-4 this year. Favorite sports ball team. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers, however, they have lost 7 of their last 8 games. They are 1 loss away and 1 win away. And there's only 1 game left in the season. Remember this. They have to beat Carolina tomorrow, Saturday, and hope that Sunday the New Orleans Saints can beat Atlanta. If the New Orleans Saints beats Atlanta and Tampa Bay beats Carolina, then Tampa Bay wins the NFC South for a record 5 times and 4 times under Todd Bowles, and they make the playoffs. If the Atlanta Falcons beat the Saints, regardless if Tampa Bay beats Carolina or not, if Atlanta beats the Saints, it's a 3-way tie for the NFC South, and Carolina holds the tiebreaker. If Carolina beats the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, matters not what the game with the Saints and the Falcons do, Carolina goes to the playoffs. They are showing up. Now, it's not that they're losing by much. They're losing by like 2 points, 3 points. Their largest lost games were earlier in the season against the Rams and the who is it? The Patriots, the Rams, the Bills. Those were their biggest lost games. They were injured the beginning of the season. But the beginning of the season, while they had injuries, they went 6-1. After their bye week at week 9, we got all of our players back healthy. And after week 9, they have won 1 game out of 8. Yes, please don't forget to like the pod. Don't forget to share the pod out. Don't forget to hit that notification button. And subscribe. Kirk, you're already subscribed. And I love you, Kirk. I love you for it. If we ever do an in-person meetup, I'll be sure to make stuff. Well, look. I'm assuming because you're making North Carolina barbecue that you're in North Carolina. So come May, the 22nd through the 24th, let's go back to here. Nope, that one. Come to New London, North Carolina. Come to the Norseforged Gathering 6. We can have a meetup. You'll see me in pirate garb because that's what I do. No, Crimson, it's more like we need a new head coach. Todd Bowles was not he is not the head coach that we need. I am petitioning or gonna write a petition that Tampa Bay hire Scott Frost, who just came back to UCF and is going into a second year as new head coach for the UCF Knights. Kirk, come in. We come for all 3 days. It's camping Saturday or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd, and we're leaving. Everybody's leaving on the Sunday the 24th. Do it, Kirk. You too, Crimson. I would like to see everybody who can make it from the chat. Come to the chat. I'll be there. Teeny will be there. And Teeny's very tiny. If you miss Teeny, you have overlooked her. Yeah. Sunday too? I thought everybody thought they said that everybody who was volunteering was Sunday, but the actual event ended on Sunday. Who knows? We'll get more information, and I will have that information next time. But with that being said, it has come down. Nope, we don't want that. We want this one. I need to change that for next week. Oh no, we can't. We are not ending yet. Hold on a minute. We got to go to a black page. We forgot something, everybody. We forgot to go here. Let's go here because I want to do this. We're going to check out who made it into our deadly dungeon. We had 64 entries. Jack Burton, Ray Spannon, Samurai Jack, Flash Gordon. You guys can read the list. I posted it in the Discord. I added some people. Beatrix Kiddo. Anybody who knows who Beatrix Kiddo is, raise your hand. Anybody who knows who President James Marshall is, raise your hand. Anybody who knows who Mitch Buchanan is? If you know who Mitch Buchanan is, then you had a good 90s childhood. Maximus Decimus Meridius. Kirk, you know who Mitch Buchanan is. because Mitch Buchanan is the Hoff. Mitch Buchanan is David Hasselhoff's Baywatch character. Well, not all of them, Kirk. Remember, we have Jackie Chan and Chuck Norris on here because I called them both characters. And we have Mila Jovovich, only because Alice. Frank Duke actually is a real person, but is also a character. Both Mitch and Marshall were unknown to me. Okay, so President James Marshall is Harrison Ford's president from Air Force One. That's why I put her as Mila Jovovich and not just Alice. We can adjust that. Ethan Hunt. I mean, when I put face to name, Ron, I'm pretty sure you'll get some of these. You mean Barbarella? Yeah, I have that entire series on DVD. Or no, it's not Barbarella, it's Stripperella. That's what it is, it's Stripperella. So which Chuck Norris are we doing? Depending on which one, he might be unbeatable. And then there's Xena up there too. Look, okay, so this is what we've got. We've got a 64 grid of things, of people. Now, if you are in the Discord, I've posted all 4 quadrants of these. Let's just go with quadrant A. Quadrant A is going to be the top left of your screen. You've got Speed Racer going against Frank Dukes. Then Wesley going up against Henry Walton Jones Jr. Does anybody know who that is? Should. Then we've got, and this one is one of the few paradoxes on here. I randomized this whole thing. I used the randomized wheel thing online, and it spit out the names every turn. Right? It just so happened that the 17th name it chose was Mitch Buchanan. Mitch Buchanan. And the 48th name it chose was Michael Knight. So we've got Mitch Buchanan going against Michael Knight. Then you've got Richard B. Riddick going against John Spartan. Then we've got Xena going against Mila Jovovich. John Rambo going against Flash Gordon. Beatrix Kiddo. Now, most of you don't know her as Beatrix Kiddo. Most of you know her as the Bride from Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2. Wesley Snipes isn't even on this list. I couldn't put Wesley on this list. Sorry. As much as I loved Wesley, there was only 2 things that I wanted to put him on his list as. And I took Wolverine off the list because the list is of individuals who aren't powered people. Now, you guys may say Neo and Trinity are powered people, but they're not mutants. Everybody on this list is an action hero of some sort that is physical. No metaphysical. Metaphysical, Kevin. He's a half vampire. I wish I could. But he's a half vampire. But we've got Beatrix Kiddo versus Ethan Hunt. And then Trinity versus Frank Martin. Frank Martin, Jason Statham as the transporter. That's his character there. Our lower quadrant in the left, Thomas A. Anderson. Thomas A. Anderson is Neo. Cameron Poe, for those who like Con Air. Then you've got Dutch from The Predator. Then you have Harry Callahan. Now, for those of us of a elder generation or so, or those who have seen any of the Dirty Harry movies, that's Dirty Harry. Then you've got Jason Bourne and Steve Austin. Now, this is not Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is the $6 Million Man Steve Austin. I guess you could say he's powered, but he's mechanically inclined. Then you have Conan the Barbarian and Samurai Jack. I like that matchup. I didn't make that matchup, but I like that matchup. And Kirk, to answer your question, we'll get there. Rooster Cogburn versus Bruce Lee. Casey Ryback versus Rick O'Connell. Casey Ryback, Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. Then you have Jack Reacher, and not the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher. This is the good Jack Reacher. This is the Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime. Versus the Terminator T-800. Yeah, but he's also a cartoon. The next two on the list, for some reason, the randomizer wants to see the Terminator T-800, because I know he's going to beat Jack Reacher. The randomizer wants to see the Terminator T-800 go against Kyle Reese. But Kyle Reese has to get past the Man with No Name. Also a Clint Eastwood character. In the upper right-hand corner, you have Sarah Connor. Why not? We have Kyle Reese and the Terminator T-800. Why not have Sarah Connor? Who is going against William Wallace. Then, for those Tom Selleck folks out there, we have Matthew Quigley going against President James Marshall. Then we have Arthur Bishop, the mechanic, going against Buckaroo Banzai. Then John McClane versus Race Bannon. That works. Some reason that works. Then you have King Leonidas versus Richard Kimball. Angus MacGyver versus Maximus Decimus Meridius. And that's a matchup where it's going to probably end up being King Leonidas versus Maximus Decimus Meridius. Then you have Jack Burton. And again, this is another I had no shenanigans part of this. Jack Burton, Snake Plissken. This is why I mentioned earlier that I think if we have two individuals, or if we have characters played by the same individual, the individual goes forward. So, like, how are you going to choose between Jack Burton and Snake Plissken. Nope, it's Kurt Russell. And then we got our spaceman. I had no input into this, but apparently the randomizer put James T. Kirk against Buzz Lightyear. Yes, laugh out loud, please. And for our final quadrant, our lower right-hand corner, we have Han Solo versus Robin Hood. Ellen Ripley versus John Wick. Kirk. Alex Murphy versus Jack Traven. Now, Alex Murphy's probably going to win. And technically, they're both cops. I did not realize that until just now. Alex Murphy and Jack Traven. Then you have Mad Max Rockatansky, or just Mad Max, versus Jackie Chan. Then you have Laura Croft versus Brian Mills, a man who has acquired a lot of skills over a long career. Then you have Jack Ryan versus Chuck Norris. And I am not talking, what's his name, Jack Ryan? I am not talking the guy from The Office, Jack Ryan. I'm not talking Ben Affleck, Jack Ryan. I'm not even talking Alec Baldwin, Jack Ryan. No, this is the quintessential Jack Ryan who played Jack Ryan in more movies than any of the other characters or the other actors. And that's Harrison Ford's Jack Ryan versus Chuck Norris. But we know Chuck Norris is going to win that. Then we have Ashley J. Williams, because this was a specific request. And yes, he's going to have his boomstick. No, Kevin, they did not make the list. Sorry. They did not make the list. Richard Dean Anderson did not make... Well, Richard Dean Anderson did make the list. But not as Jack O'Neill. I don't know if Jack Ryan was a soap opera character. But Ash Williams, sorry to say, Bruce Campbell, right? I have said this on numerous times. Bruce Campbell cannot carry the lead in a TV series. He's always a supporting actor or supporting character. And the randomizer thinks so too, because he pitted him up against Thomas Magnum. And for our last two, and I will tell you guys this, the randomizer picked the last four in this order: Kyle Reese, William Wallace, Martin Riggs, who was the last one? Oh, I know who it was. Frank Dukes. So apparently the randomizer did not think that any of Mel Gibson's characters after Mad Max was any good, and did not think that Jean-Claude Van Damme's Frank Dukes from Bloodsport needed to be any higher than 64th. And Mad Max was penciled in or selected 10 from the bottom. So, yeah. There's our Deadly Dungeon for the next 32 weeks. Yeah, he's only MacGyver. Sorry. We may pencil him. I put in majority of these because I only got a list of like 10. And that wouldn't do us. This, I think, would give us a lot to work with. Because the ultimate individual who's going to win is going to be the ultimate individual that you guys, the fans, think is the ultimate action hero, character-wise. Or who played the best action hero. Not 53 weeks. There's 64 tournaments. Is it 53 weeks? Round 1 is 32 weeks. Oh. This means we are definitely going past 100 episodes. We will beat the Bard Father. I almost threw him in there, Ron. I almost threw him in there. You have no idea how much it pained me not to throw in Mick Dundee. But keep those suggestions because we'll run another back. So here's the thing. On this bracket maker, I can only throw in 64 names. So, before next week, if we want to start this in 2 weeks, this is the list I have. If you guys want to edit this list, let me know in the chat who you think needs to be on this list and who they need to replace. And then we will take a vote. And we will see. Because I agree, some of these people that you guys are saying absolutely deserve to be on this list. Jack O'Neill. Yes. I had thought of him. Mick Dundee, I had thought of him too. But who do you vote off the island? You just tell me in the Discord chat who you think should be voted off the island and who you think they should be replaced with. And I will run a poll. And you guys will vote in the Discord. And the winners of the polls will go on to this list in their respective spots, who they're taking from. So we're not moving any people around or anything else. More than 53, did the math wrong, 62. What's 29 and 16? 29 and 32. That's 61. 61 weeks. Because you got 16 matches here, 16 matches here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, no. You got 32. And 32, which is 64. And then 16 and 16, which is 32. So we're already at more than that. 64 plus 32 is 96. We're at 96 weeks right there. 97, 98, 99, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We're at 125 weeks. $125 weeks. That's 2.5 years of Deadly Dungeon. That's just on one side, Kevin. Still only on one side. Is it? Is my math wrong? Okay. It's still a year. It's still a year and change. Anyway, that is what we will do. You guys tell me who comes off this list. The list is in the Discord. Minus what's her name? Beatrix, kiddo. She is not in the list yet, but I can edit the list and add her at the bottom. List is edited. Damn it. No, it's not. List is edited into Discord. You tell me who comes off this list. You tell me who goes on this list or who you would like to see on this list. And I will make a poll and we will go from there. With that being said, everybody, it has come down. You want to remove RoboCop and $6 Million Man for both being filthy cyborgs, Patui. Look, that is why I have Alex Murphy on there and not RoboCop. Alex Murphy was Alex Murphy before he was a robot. With that being said, everybody, thank you again for joining me on this first stream of 2026. Oh, we did it, everybody. We made it to 43. Next week will be 43. Next week, same Bard time, same Bard channel. And after next week's episode, the Saturday, I should know 2 weeks from now. It would have been on the 10th, but now it's got pushed to the 17th because it is a birthday weekend that weekend. But I will be live streaming a D&D campaign where we will be going through the land of Dulasil. So I will get more information on where that's going to be streamed. It's probably going to be streamed over on the Purple Twitch app. So you can all catch us there. It will be your favorite streamers from TikTok. It will be No Panic Button. It will be Archeo Wolf. It will be myself. It will be War Fox or Fox and Fox's girlfriend, and we will all be and it will be Popo Plays or Popo Blanco. We will all be playing D&D, and it's going to be a long campaign. And it's going to be every Saturday at like noon for a couple hours every Saturday. If you can make it, please join us. If not, please join me next week on Rogue Bard Advice. And don't forget to send in your questions and comments about the show to roguebardadvice@gmail.com. That's roguebardadvice@gmail.com. With that being said, I will see you guys next week. Same Rogue Bard time, same Rogue Bard channel. This is your host, the Pirate Archaeologist, the Rogue Pirate Archaeologist, the Rogue Thief Pirate Archaeologist, Chris or Captain Bartholomew Bones McCoy, giving you this. Take what you want. Give nothing back. And keep to the pirate's code. Whoever gets behind gets left behind. With that, I will see y'all next week. Adieu.